everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be locking up our opponents by playing Jeskai Control, one of our favorite decks on this channel, and a deck I often visit just because I enjoy playing it so much, and one of those main reasons is to cast Jeskai Revelation. This card is arguably one of the most addicting cards to cast for me because it's just so fun to either put a permanent back in their hand or put a spell back in their hand or remove a creature, things like that, draw some extra cards, make some prowess creatures, and then close out the game by lightning helixing them and maybe getting lost a creature, and then those prowess triggers happen. Well, other than that, we got spell snares from the new set, but I have the old ones because I personally like this art a lot. I think this art's really, really cool, so I'm playing with this one. No More Lies have found their way back to being a 4 of in this list, and Consult Star Charts and Stock Up as our main card selection is a 8 of, if you want to count it that way, because they're both kind of, one's really good early, one's really good late, both are really good always, and it doesn't really matter. Rest in Peace is in here for our graveyard matchups with a flanker. We really want to be high on this, but going to 4 and 5 feels like a little too much. Feels like you're trying to target that matchup, and then Arena just never gives it to you, and you'll be really sad about that. For removal, we have Helix to get to low the ground stuff. We have a Braid to be kind of a catch-all, along with removal. Get Lost to be there as well to connect us to our Day of Judgment and Ultimas. And we have a couple of flash creatures to help close out the game when needed if our damage from Revelation and Helix isn't enough with a one flanker hit or something like that. But with that said, we're going to dive into the games. I hope y'all enjoy them. There's not many games, but man, are they long. So I hope you enjoy the matches. And let's go play. Okay, so hopefully this game can turn it around. Right now, we are getting very unfortunate with what's happening. So I need to name blue on this. So both of these are unlocked. I've done about the most flooding that I've done in a very long time. And it's just kind of sucked, to be honest. What are we? Allies? Yeah, I guess we just pop that, right? They'll definitely, if they are allies, they will have caverns eventually, so our counter spells are not going to be good. Could jam this. Maybe go for an Braid just to slow it down a bit. Maybe go flanker to scry. Oh, exactly on cue. Sure. Yeah. Move that so they can't draw cards. Let's go land and then pass here. This should be idealistically a good matchup for us. Untap, ally, exile a card from graveyard. Sure. Uh-huh. Sure. Try to gain 2. Get Lost is not necessary with the Helix and Ultima in hand and this getting picked off, right? Land. Stock up. We'll take... This is going to do nothing this matchup. We take Thundering Falls and a Helix. Tap and untap, exile target card from graveyard when its creature attacks. Go for the removal. They cannot cast an ally. Ang, Swift Savior, sure. Yeah. They might get to draw a card here if they have a 1-drop ally, which will suck, but no. Surveil. No. This. Once I get Spell Pierced here, that'd be so sick. Your turn now. And I have 3 Lightning Helixes to make this game work. That Ang can do a lot. What do they hit, though, is the main thing. That is the only thing that works there. That's crazy. No? Go ahead. It's wild to me that that's like one of the only ways that works. Got a lot to find, a lot of things to do. Maybe I was supposed to helix something and save the Ultima. Oh boy. Here. Yep. It sucks, but that's like kind of fine, I guess. Sure. Sure. Is the creature with flash, maybe? Sure. Yeah. Here. Sure. They have an Ang, maybe? There's a lot to look at. Ang's 3, so this won't do anything. So we gotta take it like this, right? I guess it's a stock up. How do we want to do this? Let's stock up. Oh my god, the lands are insane. Just a board wipe would be kind of ideal. Sure. Here. We do need to find one more land, weirdly enough, even though I was kind of like tweaking about the lands. And the reason why is because I can cast Revelation, and if they ang it, I can then cast it again. I actually need... It just kind of sucks where we're at. Sure. We have to look, I think. Ultima and a land would have done it, but we obviously didn't pay for that. I don't have enough for Ultima and so on, so I think it has to be weirdly a Helix here. Stock up? I do think they have an Ang. I can't prove it. These two, I guess. Want to make sure they do it on their turn, though. I can't prove that they have an Ang, but I believe they have an Ang. Here. Okay. here. Because this will also make us tapped if it comes back. But they have to float it now. But, alright. Sure. Maybe we got out of this? I have no idea. But an Aang alone will not stop this. Earth Kingdom. Sure. Sure. I don't even know what that says. Prevail. Sure. We want to return damage. Could have done it backwards. Actually, we're supposed to do it backwards. We're supposed to return and then damage. Yeah. Why did I? Yeah. Oops. It's a pretty obvious way to play that, and I just didn't do it right. It's like sacrifice a creature you'll get indestructible in turn. Sure. Here. Sure. Just there's only one here, so we have to take the best value card, which is going to be a consult. This is about to be the turn or the next turn that we just kind of build everything up here. Nice. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Nothing will be worse if they Aang this, and then I get to cast it for 2 against them. They just play Aang. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Return damage. Return damage. This is good enough. The world may never know. I did use their cavern, so my spell snare is good for a second. This is weird. What to do? Honestly, look at how many lands are in this pile, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 lands in this pile. I mean, I guess I don't have much to work with left. Yeah, because we know what those are, and then sure. Untap mana here. Guess we pass. The main thing we need to do is cast a revelation. Kind of trying to remove everything. If they cast this, we can put it back in their hand and shoot Aang. Because again, it being uncounterable doesn't actually matter. And then we can go for maybe stock up, spell snare, something if it matters. Spell snare? They didn't use their cavern, so I get to spell snare that. Oh, sure. Yo. Washy tongue. Legendary ruling our Aang. Sweet. Yep. I'll literally just play it here. That's a pretty good one. Let's surveil now. I don't even want to put it in the graveyard because we only have so few cards. Do I want to stock up here? Probably, right? Then maybe I could find like a Helix, burst that down and get through. I don't even know if I have a Helix left, to be honest with you. How much do I have? Let's do Rest in Peace so I can grow my prowess creatures to big enough. Then we can go from there. I don't think I can be in the spot where I can't do anything, right? Like I have to be interacting. And then I can go for the Unagi, which is nice. I can also go for return damage. Sure. So I have 4, 8, 12. So we're good. Rest. I don't know if it'll give me priority. It probably won't. It's not gonna be like, oh, are you casting that? Then that's gonna do it. Good game. That was a bit of a struggle for me there, trying to get back into it. Playing Control is a bit one of the hard ones. Control's a hard one to pivot into after I've been playing a lot of the aggro decks, so slowing it down and like taking time on my decisions is a bit weirder. Opponents first. I have no white mana, but we'll try. I know it sounds like absurd to do this. We're gonna have to get to Day of Judgment anyway. There. Probably have to consult. Oh, it's big. Big ramp deck. All right. Mono green Eugene, I assume. Please cast that card again. That's cringe. The one time I'm going to get value off Washington Watch, they're not going to play one. We're going to play the more reasonable card. What are you going to do with 4 mana? The world will never know. We have to get to this. We also have to get to this. I could flash this in and block here, which might even be better. Might be better, actually. They're not guaranteed to search again here. This takes a little bit of their mana away, so they're less explosive, obviously. Oh, we hit. White. Gotta pass. We have to find a white source. We will be jamming this pretty much no matter what. Oh, that's actually kind of tough. Wait, is this a combo deck? It probably is, isn't it? So basically, they play a turtle and it does everything, I think. So I weirdly have to get lost this, which sucks. I'm not a fan of that. I don't want to have to get lost that. Are you kidding me? Oh, we know what we have to take there. Ooh. We play here. Now, I do have options. I do get to get lost this, and I can Helix this. But the extra mana I don't think is doing much for him right now. Because if I Day of Judgment, what do I really get, right? They just rebuild with this, and then I feel like I'm behind because then I have to Ultima. So I think this is the weird turn where we have to take a ton of damage, and then to answer this. That's why. Right. Sure. Unless they randomly fetch a red here and give everything haste, that would, dude, that would be so sick. I just thought of that. What if they play the red card that makes like the rats, right? And then they just get to like give everything haste in a spot like this. That would be nuts. That'd be tragic. This is one of the reasons why we just have to do this, right? Because if they, on this empty board, if I would have Day of Judgment, I would have taken out these creatures to the left, right? But they would then have played Nice Tail and made these, and then I would have to Ultima, and if they play Ice Tail again, then I'm stuck in that weird spot again, right? Yeah, you better protect yourself, brother. Brutal. I actually wanted them to use their maps. Yeah. Sure. Yep. Here. We want to go Ultima here because we want to Day of Judgment and then be able to like play Rest in Peace or a Helix or something. Sure. Okay. I think that's like 3 Badger Mole Cubs in the graveyard, right? 1, 2, 3. I'd like to have my Washi Tong back. Sure. Okay. Okay. You have to find lands now. That will do it. Uncounterable probably doesn't matter. So I'm going to grab both these lands here. Huh. That kind of sucks, but we're just dead too if they have it. I'm thinking of the card that doubles the creature's power. They can 100% just play that here and then fetch that land, get another land with the other creature that tutors. So we could 100% be dead here if they play it. They did double surveil to the graveyard, so it is kind of a top deck spot. Unless they just have it in hand already. I can't even think of the card's name right now. But yeah, we'll take 4. And then we'll go with Day of Judgment here. And then we also have this land online. If I Day, it doesn't matter actually. Archive. Deal. We can't activate this no matter what we do, so obviously we have to do it that way. They don't get a draw here. The pause is from the Fable Passage, which now they probably need to crack, but we get out of it. All right, cool. I can't think of the card, but it has Warp on it for 3 mana, and it's like a 4 mana 4/4 that when a land enters, it doubles the power of a creature. So if this in hand, they had 8 mana, 9-ish mana, but they definitely could have for 3 mana warped that in and then cast this for the 3 mana side, putting an extra land in or getting an extra land and then playing it and then cracking the Fable Passage. So that'd been 3 land drops with a creature that starts at base power 4. So that would have gone to 8, 16, and then 32. So I'd have been 100% dead to that. But thankfully we get out. What can one do here? Opponent first. We're on the draw. Sure, dude. The mirror. What are you hiding? You can hide whatever you want. I ain't scared of nothing of that. Might just be blue-white, though. Thankfully, our spell snare is only going to hit something like a No More Lies, so they're probably never going to use the village for it. Or consult star charts, actually. Sure. Here. They could pop my land if they would like. And on that. That's a type of card that just gets value by attacking super early on, so we're going to answer why they have no shields up instead. So, you're only going to play like a few creatures in total. Sure. Do you think we can bait them? Or do you think they have a 3 steps ahead? Let's try to bait them. We want them to jam a No More Lies here, and we want to spell snare that No More Lies. They don't, so we'll just grab 2 lands here. Leave the basics in, and now that the basics are on the bottom, we know for 100% if they demo field us, we have access to them. So they're down here. So we're never going to accidentally get popped in a weird way that comes up. We do want to find our own little Mystic Village. Mistrise Village, not Mystic Village. Oh, I guess. Going to be a game of all time, that's for sure. But we can't go for consult here. Sure. Here. We'll just get rid of like a Day of Judgment or something. We hit max hand size. Gonna spell snare this? Sure. Fair enough. It ended up working out for them. End up working out. Kind of what we thought we were gonna get to do to them, but sure. Go. Also, you can see why we removed the flanker now. As you can see, all these turns, they would have been able to kind of do some stuff. Yeah, you realize you can't do the consult to start charge kicked, so you don't want to anymore. Really funny, but there we go. Risky to do it now because I could just revelation in response, but I'm 100% going to consult in response to that. In response to this, even I will. It's Unagi is actually good here. Go here. Unfortunately, we can't Unagi in response here. I don't know why I keep having a stroke there on that. But playing at 7, they're playing at 7. This is probably the only one of these that they play. If they're kind of mimicking what the control list did in the Pro Tour, it's going to be like a 1 of here, a 1 of here, and a 1 of like either this or Washi Tong. But they needed to find land, so I say you have to have another land, right? Here. Sitting our hand is okay a little with a spot like this. One, they're probably never using a counterspell here on this. If they do, then great, I guess. Oh, I don't get to see what consult star chart trait. Shock. I don't even know the math, but obviously our life total just in general is not in danger, so. Would you like to cast? Also, what's the odds? Why do I keep drawing Washi Tong immediately after my opponent does the thing of either searching or drawing extra cards? I shocked and it scared him. Which is fair, in my opinion. I'm going to miss a land drop here, but that's okay. At least I think so. They do nothing. I could jam this, but that seems bad. Oh, you're shocking now. No red. So I'm not worried about the big card. Sure. Go force something out of them. This will force something. Sure. Sure. What a draw. Can I find one of my Mistrise villages? That would be cool. So I can just stop worrying about my spells resolving. Not today, brother. Land drops to be made. Oh, that makes it just so weird, huh? So I kind of wanted to play the Unagi, but the problem is if they activate this when they cast their Get Lost, they don't have to pay the water bin. We're just going to keep trying to jam spells in their end step, I guess. I resolved. Team. Team. Lock in. The cracks are showing. Lock in, team. You leave that alone. Sure. What if we... This? This ain't a counter. This is a return. No, sir. Set them back a turn. Our hand is flushed. Board wipe for my 1/1s. They did get rid of an Ultima earlier, but most likely there's a Day of Judgment sitting in there. That one specifically. You want to consult now, or... Land. And I can't even do it. Sick. We're just gonna start flashing in stuff on their end step. We're about to get freaky with it. I don't know what that means, but I said it out loud, and you have to deal with it now. Okay. Well, what's my card? Sure. What if we just Unagi now? It resolves now. I'll take a draw too. And honestly, I'll probably just throw a Helix upstairs, I think, just so I don't have to discard, especially if I rip another Helix here. 2 lands, I guess. Yeah, I'm down to throw a Helix upstairs. All right, that also tells us there's no spell snare, so that's pretty nice. Now, the other part is these maps is where this all comes back to kind of bite me a bit, because they're not an aggro deck, so the maps are there. If they read water bending or know exactly how it works, they are in blue-white, so I would imagine that they know. Because this is a card that you would imagine that they play a little bit of. You would think a bit. Sure. Now that is an enchantment. Waterbend 4. Do I want to do this or do I want to consult? I think if I remember right, this is a one of. The pressure is on. Like her. Immortalize or whatever can 100% counter this. That's fine. Making it as complicated as possible. Oh, hey! I can play the game. We really only want to do it when we need it to resolve the most. Unlike the Avatar, we will try not to disappear. Dead card. They could consult here, but it would only be for one card. So they would really have to look at that many cards and be like, this is the perfect card I want. How many Helixes do I actually have? 1, 2, 3. I only have 1 left. And I only have 1 Revelation left. What about Get Lost? I used 1 Get Lost, so I should have another one. Alright, opponent. I'm busy. I'm trying to game. Fun. I can also return this, right? Well, they could sacrifice this. Huh. I think I want to stock up. It might pop this land now. I know I'm tapping out and that's allowing them to do stuff here, but I actually am happier if they're thinner on mana than I am if they're anything else. Okay, that card kind of sucks, so it's fine. Okay. Trying to time up how we want to do this is a bit difficult. It does make it a bit easier. And honestly, having a No More Lies to fight with how kind of expensive our turns are getting Sure. We can always discard a Day of Judgment here. Sure. Or the Abrade could kind of be it, I guess, but... Sure. Okay. Now they can pay the water bending cost pretty much for free, which is unfortunate. It's a bit tough, obviously. Now I can go for the No More Lies, force them to interact with that. I just can't get their mana down low enough. And they'll always be able to pop kind of my other card, right? And my deck's been slightly shuffled. So should I go for the No More Lies? Or do I just yam this? No, we just let that go, unfortunately. Here. Well, that helps me a bit. This. Uncounterable. Now we just have to find our other one, of course. We do play 2 of them. Sure. Is it on the bottom? No, so we decline. Here. Sure. We're working on it. And make it uncounterable. Sure. I don't know. I have 15 left. Sure. Who's gonna stop him? I mean, combat. Good fight for this, right? Like, we can go for a No More Lies and then get lost it? I think so. Didn't make it where it was uncounterable, so jam this. We might actually just get there based off, like, damage alone. Right? Because now we're at 6, so the 2 life that they gain is irrelevant. So they pay. Sure. Do your 2 life. You scry 2. I'll go for a get lost. It will counter this with the 3 steps ahead. And then we'll abrade it. Keeping the Abrader of the Damnation from multiple turns ago has come back in full circle for us. Kind of why weird things like that can matter sometimes. Okay, I mean, that's also fine. I think I have Revelation, right? So we let Get Lost resolve. So we want the Flanker gone. The Flanker leaves. Spell Pierce is not payable for. Here and then here. Good game, opponent. That was a crazy game. Wild experience that was. The only card I was really afraid of was the mill card in the monument. But yeah, I mean, when I was doing my tier list, if any of you are watching from this is one of the reasons for control. I was kind of like, I think it's good when you're in Mythic or in that diamond like tier 1, tier 2, and you really just want to play to win your matches, because I think it has a good win rate. That game just took 20 minutes. And the game before took 7, which is good. And the other one before that, 15. So yeah, we're just going to go to the outro now. I don't know why the armadillo was on my screen. I don't know if you even saw it. This armadillo, I did this and it just stayed on my screen for some reason. But yeah, the deck is solid and I enjoy playing it, and I think this is a really good foundation start. If you want to play control, I typically always have a pretty good positive win rate whenever I'm playing control. And is it a little bit because I'm not saying this as though I'm the best control player in the world. I am saying this as I'm a better control player than I am like a combo player with Badger Mole Cub, if that makes sense. If I'm a 4 at playing Badger Mole Cub, I would at least say I'm a 5 at playing control, if that makes sense, out of 10. So it is a deck that I enjoy playing and I do tend to find pretty good success with. It just takes forever to win and you have to be prepared for that. And this is the list that we are kind of settled on. I think the Pro Tour list that got 4th, if I'm not mistaken, plays 4 of these and no Washitong, which this card's good, but maybe not a requirement, especially if you don't have that Mythic. You can, well, if I say that, this is also a Mythic, but it is just a card that you may just not have to play, really. It can be good. It can be nice in those flash matchups. We saw it block a 1/1 to slow some mana down. We saw it need to be countered by control, and then we also saw it like airball in both of those matchups where our opponent didn't fetch after. Like, they fetched before, but unfortunately, that's... If we were on the play, it worked. If we were on the draw, it didn't work. Unfortunately, on both of those, we were on the draw, and that just sucked. Although, when our opponent did draw the other cards, the Yanagi came in. So you could play the giant 6-mana dragon if you want to do that for like the draw 3 and stuff like that. It's definitely not a bad choice. Is that Murktide Regent or not? What is it? Murktide? No. No. No, that's our modern card. What? Now I have to find it. Now I'm mad. What is this card? Meringue. Okay, so it wasn't M. I wasn't crazy when I said Murktide, at least. But now that I say Murktide, saying it's the modern card, this is 100% it. Because Murktide, I don't even know if it's a dragon, actually. I think it might be a serpent. I don't know. Weird enough either way. But yeah, the deck's solid. We got Graveyard Hate. So realistically, with these in your deck, imagine to not play against Graveyard at all. We have our Braid to pick up random artifacts. We have the Flanker to also fit in that role. Ultima to make sure certain matchups are automatic wins, but also Ultima counters the, not Badger Mole Cub itself, but the Earthbend, because they die and the Earthbend trigger never gets to go on the stack to return. So their turn just ends. Kind of the same situation with Unstoppable Slasher. You cast Ultima, the Slasher goes away. Even if it doesn't have a counter, it's gone. It will never have time to return. And then we play No More Lies as a 4 of, because the meta's so low, along with 2 Spell Snares. Spell Snare is a card in Best of 1 that you'll go up and down on. If you just want to play one of these, I wouldn't even blame you. Oftentimes, like in a matchup, it's really good. It's really, really good. And the matchup is bad. you kind of just ignore it in your hand and hope that you can still get through it anyway, because this deck looks at so many cards. So with that said, maybe you just play one and then maybe you slot in a 3 steps ahead for flexibility in this type of situation and best of one. But overall, everything considered, everything rattled up, playing 3 of these feels like the right move almost no matter what. 2 of these also feels incredibly correct, or 3 of these and maybe 1 of these. 4 of these board wipes feel correct, and the Helix and Braids along with the Get Lost help connect you until you get to those. So it feels like here's the best way I can describe it. From here, actually, I think 1 of Braid is almost a must right now because it's so flexible. But I would argue that everything from Consult over is kind of solved. You can swap these versions. That's why I have them together. But I think these are all solved here. I think you have to be playing all these. Some lists play only 3 stock up, but I think in best of one, you really want to be on 4 because you just need that high versatility, that high volume of card selection. And then everything to the left is debatable, and what I mean by that is what versions you're playing. Like, are you locked up on 2 Rest in Peace? Well, then you're not going to play Shiko, but if you think Shiko's better in best of one, well, maybe this is another flanker and a Soul Guide Lantern. Maybe you feel like Rest in Peace is too good that you cut the flanker to play another Rest in Peace. But the reason we play flanker is to actually be a win condition, even though it's a 3-1. But Washi Tong you could cut. Maybe if you feel like all your meta's graveyard, cut Washi Tong and play another flanker, right? And then the Inagi, if you don't think it's actually that good, then cut it, right? That's the beauty of playing best of one, is you can play a lot of one-ofs and it could and could not matter at all. Like, your games could never change because that one-of that's been bad in your deck is in your hand because the rest of the cards support you well enough. So bit weird. Other than that, Mishrise Village is an absolute requirement, and I personally think Quarry Mountain Monastery is a very solid card to be playing as well. These cards are good, but this is a requirement. To be playing Control, you have to have these. So with that said, I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.